My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh and whatever special guest he has today. You can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good. And follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's party time. My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros, Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the program. We have another good show for you. It is a repeat performance by Cristian DiMarco. We talked to him about a year ago. Sorry about that. We talked to him about a year ago. So it's time to follow up just based on that alone with the time, because I know a lot of listeners and a lot of viewers are like, hey, whatever happened to? Why don't you follow up more? And all my years experience in broadcasting, the follow-up story is sometimes even better than the first one. I think we're going to find that to be true with Cristian DiMarco, son of PGA Tour veteran Chris DiMarco. He went on quite a bit of a run last year. The 2024 Florida Open champion, in addition to a Florida State Amateur champion. Not many people can claim that. A couple wins on the West Florida Golf Tour, including one this fall. And he is currently number 4 on the points list on the West Florida Golf Tour. So time to check up with him, and he's eager to do so. And we're going to have a good conversation and kind of get into his mind of a professional golfer who's ready to take the next step. Big thanks to our title sponsor, Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, try a Party. Now, if you are playing at a golf course and they don't have Party, right at the bottom of your screen, Paradise Craft Distributors is the sole distributor in the state of Florida for Party Drinks. So tell somebody at your club or the golf course where you play, we want Party, and that's how they can get it on board with you, and you'll love it. And try a Transfusion, one of our best drinks, by far our best seller. And if your dream is to live in a golf course community like Lakewood National Golf Club, where we broadcast from, then Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro from suncoastdreams.com, they got you covered. And a big thanks to my neighbors who are big viewers of the podcast. We had a driveway party. I'm going to timestamp this. It's Friday night, and it is January 10th. We had a driveway party at Tom and Beverly Walsh's house. No relation to me, but about 6 houses away. And all the neighbors were there, and they listened to the podcast. So I appreciate them doing that. And some of the neighbors asked, where can we buy Party other than the golf courses, which scroll across the bottom, where you can purchase it. You can also get it at Norman's Liquors, State Road 70 in Bradenton, right near I-75, and also at Lucky Mobile, which is right across the street from the links at Greenfield Plantation, State Road 64, and I-75 in Bradenton. Okay, so let's get the program going here with Cristian DiMarco. Hey, man, I'm really glad you came back, and I'm really proud of you. What happened since we last talked? You went on a bit of a tear. Why don't you pick it up from there?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Kind of just a culmination of things, I think. I think last time we talked, I think my head was in the getting to the right spot. I was doing all the right things, but just kind of capitalized on some opportunities. Just kind of stuck with it and kept grinding, and was able to pick up a couple wins early in the year on the West Florida Tour. And I think just winning anything at any time is always good. And was able to pick up the Florida Open, which was nice.
Cool. Did you shut it down for the holidays, though, and just reconnect with family and everything? What did you do?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think after second stage, where I had a chance and then you miss, and it's kind of like the whole year's a failure. That's kind of where your mind goes. So, yeah, I didn't want to be on the golf course. My dad was in town, and he lives in Denver, so we played some golf, but I was not wanting to be on the golf course. So I actually went up to Toronto for Christmas for 7 days, which was nice. It was good to be in some cold weather and snow where I don't look outside and think I should be practicing or anything like that. So it was a good time away.
Toronto is the home of your wife. She's a Canadian gal, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. We're going to get into Jordy because I know she's had a change of teams and a change of leagues as well. and that's worked out good for the home life.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me about this week. You had a scramble going on in Orlando. What was going on there?
Yeah, so I was me and a buddy of mine, Jake Solon. We drove down to West Palm to play the Corn Ferry Monday for Bogota. Had a chance there as well. I was 4 under through 14 and missed a short birdie putt on 15, bogeyed 16, and then missed 2 putts inside 15 feet on 17 and 18 to shoot 3 under and miss by 2, which was tough. And then, yesterday was a fun little deal. Me, Jimmy Jones, Taylor Funk, and Jake Solon played the Mayfair Tough Day Scramble. Didn't have our best stuff, but it was fun. It's fun to do those things every once in a while, but it makes you appreciate solo golf for sure.
So when you're talking about tough day, are these ridiculous pin positions and
ridiculous pin positions? Yeah,
like 5 putting and just insane stuff.
Just in a scramble. I mean, we're all pretty good players, but somebody could hit it 6 feet above the hole, and we're picking a chip because I don't think we can keep the 6-footer on the green with 4 putts at it. So I think they kind of have to do that with 4 pros in every group. I think there was probably 20 groups. So if you're having 20 groups of 4 pros, like there's going to be some low scores to give the pins normal. But there was a little bit of luck involved, which is not great.
Well, you got to have luck. I mean, if I just have bad luck, but if I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck. Cristian DiMarco is our guest here on Party Time, my golf story, brought to you by Party Drinks and the golf real estate pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Vizzacaro. So you and I had a nice conversation in the car. Well, we weren't in the same car, but I was driving, and I think you were driving a couple of days ago. And it just really seemed to me, I just really appreciated your candor and making yourself vulnerable. But it seems to me that you've reached a point in your life where you're comfortable with things and you're really grounded. You're in a good place. Do you want to tell me how you got there?
Yeah. I mean, I think in terms of our conversation the other day, kind of touched on the fact that I'm going to be fine with if I play in the Masters and win on the PGA Tour, great. But if I don't, I'm going to be fine. I've got a great home life, great family, awesome wife. So I think that's a big realization. I think growing up, around the PGA Tour and understanding what that life looks like, I've got a better understanding of it's pretty cool. So it's it's more real, opposed to maybe somebody who is coming out of college and just kind of learns as they go. I think me having an understanding of what it's like made me want it even more or even quicker. And then, just the year that I had last year was solid. I wish it was a little bit better in terms of second stage and getting Corn Ferry status, but just knowing how I felt at first stage, how I was able to handle some nerves, and then how I felt basically all week at second stage, where the moment didn't seem too big. I just came up a little short. So it was huge to know that I know that it's going to happen. It doesn't necessarily need to happen now. But I know that I'm working on the right things. I know that I'm able to handle pressure. And it was great to not feel overwhelmed at second stage and kind of play my way back into the tournament and have a chance.
And that's the thing is because I know you have a lot of help. You have a team. I mean, everybody has a team. We think of golf as a solitary endeavor, and it is, but it isn't. But in the end, nobody can hit the shots for you. It's just like being a UFC fighter. You got to get in the cage and you got to fight on your own.
Of course.
And that's you finally got to that point. Well, I mean, what were the doubts in the past, or you think it's just an age thing, a maturity thing, or was it results?
Here she is. I was wondering when you were going to come.
Here I am. Thank you for having me, Kevin.
You got it, Gene Walsh from suncoastdreams.com, a division of Fine Properties in the greater Sarasota area. So we're past the holidays now. Did you enjoy Christmas and all that came with it?
I sure did. It was nice to have family visiting, and we had a lot of parties. It was a good time to relax and enjoy.
We had a pretty good driveway party just a couple days ago. We're recording this on Friday, January 11th. It was the night before, and You like the driveway parties, don't you?
Yes, I do. It was nice. It's great to see people, especially snowbirds, people that we haven't seen in a while. And I want to thank our hosts, Beverly and Tom Walsh. No relation, but good neighbors and friends.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Good time. They did a fabulous job. And it's good to catch up with everybody. And so the snowbirds are back, but the buyers are coming back too?
Yes. The market is definitely heating up. It was nice to have the break over the holiday, but people are coming back down. We had an open house last weekend that had really good traffic, and it's nice to see a variety of people.
Mortgage rates went up. What's up with that? What does it mean?
Well, they've climbed up for the fourth straight week in a row, and they're hovering just below 7%. So it's not always the good news we want to hear when people are coming out to buy properties, but it is what it is. So everyone's adjusting.
And if you're a cash buyer, though, that may keep you in that advantageous position. Yes?
Yes. Cash definitely helps. You have more leverage and more ability to negotiate.
I didn't tell you this, and I forgot to mention it at the top of the show. I forgot to ask everybody to subscribe if you haven't already, because that's kind of the producer's orders. But we are now at 322,000 plus views on YouTube and 13,500 subscribers. Does that help you with your business at Sunco Streams?
I think it does. I think it helps with word of mouth, getting the name out there, and I really appreciate it, Kevin.
Okay, you got it. I appreciate you. Gene Walsh, SuncoastStreams.com, a division of Fine Properties.
Did you hear what I asked? Yeah,
I did. Yeah, I mean, some of the doubts obviously are you good enough to do this? You watch PGA Tour golf and everybody's hitting it to 3 feet and making 25-foot putts, and the guys seem larger than life. And it's like, I'm lucky enough to kind of know some PGA Tour guys, Billy Horschel or Sam Ryder. And every time we talk to them, it's like, they don't really seem to have like a magic ball or any kind of secret that they do. It's very simple. They're refined in what they do. They're confident. And I think that's something that I had to learn over time. And, kind of just, again, having some success at the lower levels, know that you can go to the next level and compete. But I mean, that just took some time, extra time for me. And I've always kind of been a late bloomer. I didn't really play any good in college until the spring of my junior year. And even for high school, I think it's just a comfortable thing for me. And I don't know if that's my upbringing, having a PGA Tour player as my dad and just kind of seeing how good it is and, I need to do this better. Or if it's just my perfectionist personality where it's like, is it good enough? I don't know if it's good enough. But just come to the realization that I know that I'm good enough. And now it's a bit of a patience thing. But if you keep doing the right things over and over again, you'll be able to capitalize on some opportunities.
I love that answer. It's honest and it's profound. And it kind of reminds me, in talking with Jim Roy, who's one of my neighbors, who's been a past guest here, the father of Kevin Roy, who is going up to the PGA Tour. Kevin was something of a late bloomer. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, and you seeing that maybe that's unfolding in your life and saying, I got this now. Whereas before you're like, I want it. I think maybe now you're really feeling it. And I hope it works out for you. Let's talk about second stage. And I want to bring up one of your former college teammates when you were at University of Kentucky, Cooper Musselman, because his caddy, Nick Newman, described for me something to where I really felt like I was there, just the nerves. And you talked about handling the nerves. But Cooper got through second stage. He's got good status on the Korn Ferry Tour coming up. But really through second stage, it wasn't until the 18th hole when he hit the ball on the green and he knew he was clear. He looked over at Nick and said, wow, I can finally breathe. Mm-hmm. Do you know what that's like? Can you explain just how the body feels when you're in a pressure cooker like that?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was funny. I mean, I felt it more at first stage than I did at second stage. I don't know why. Maybe I think getting through first stage I think that's the hardest stage to get through, to be honest. Because you know that like you're good enough but you have to get through this one to get to the one that really matters. But yeah, I mean, I think I was on the number first stage this year, and I mean, I wanted to puke the whole round. And just, I worked with a great mental coach, John Wortman, and I had a great caddy on the bag, Ryan Orr, who used to play. And I don't know how to describe it. I mean, it's not that you haven't been in that position before where you can handle nerves, because that's obviously true. I mean, at the lower levels, even if you have a chance to win at West Florida or whatever it may be, you have some nerves, so you know how to handle them. It's just, I think the prolonged effect of, like, usually in a smaller event, you may have nerves on the first tee, but then 1 through 15, you're kind of just doing what you're doing. But at Q School, it seems like every shot matters more, which in theory it doesn't, but just the stage is bigger and it means more. But yeah, I mean, first stage was, I mean, that last round was brutal.
Well, I could feel it just in how you're describing it, and just, you know, the feeling of puking. We've all done that. So
yeah,
I feel it. But, like, how do you push through that? Are you doing breathing things? Are you meditating? Do you got a trick?
I do a little bit of breathing, a little bit of box breathing, a lot of just, like, we call it a mantra or affirmations that you just kind of play over and over and over in your head. And then I think too, like, knowing that if you can kind of trick yourself and know, like, hey, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, this tournament means nothing. Like, in the grand scheme of things, we're going to live, we're going to have kids, we're going to hopefully have kids, and then we're going to die. Like, in the grand scheme of things, this tournament means nothing. So if you can kind of trick yourself into having that, it may buy you 15 minutes or a hole, and then you got to do it all over again.
I like that. Just play tricks, mental gymnastics, psychology, whatever works. Well, we had Dr. Bob Winters on, and he was talking about McDonald's French fries when he was working with Lee Westwood. So, hey, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
Your boy Jimmy Jones, how's he doing? And he's been on the bag for a couple things. How's that been?
Yeah, he's doing great. He's getting married February 1st. I'm the best man, so preparing a speech, which is going to be fun. Stop.
You're preparing the speech. Are you doing some research? Are you doing some rehearsals?
I'm doing some research based on where we met, which was at a golf tournament. I'm kind of going back and just finding some funny jokes that I can say and some that I can't. And then just trying to bring it all together. I can't give too much up because he's probably going to listen to this. But yeah, I had one rule for him at my wedding: no notes. So you got to memorize it. Got to kind of work the crowd a little bit. So I'm kind of kicking myself that I made him do that, because I think notes would be a little bit easier, a little more comfortable. But I'm excited for the challenge. I'm excited to kind of work the room a little bit and set the party off.
Are you going to be nervous? Are you nervous speaking in front of people?
It's a funny thing about nerves. I think it's when you feel alive, to be honest. And I think it's kind of that, oh shit moment. Like, am I going to fall on my face? And it's golf and in public speaking. I've always felt like I've been a good public speaker. I can kind of riff a little bit, and Trump calls it the weave. I can weave a little bit and kind of come back. But I think for Jimmy's thing, I mean, I'm gonna have it pretty down. And then I know everybody there. So if somebody heckles out, I can say something witty back, and it's gonna be a good time.
I like that. You got to think on your feet. You got to hear your own voice. You got to react to the crowd. You got it. Well, I mean, just you being on the podcast, you're a natural at this. You're going to absolutely crush it. So tell me about Jordy, your wife. Great love story. Why don't you retell that and the team switcheroo or league switcheroo that's going on, and why it's good for you both.
Yeah, I got to change the hat for that conversation. We got to put a team hat on. Let's see. Here we go. Tampa Bay Sun. There we go. So yeah, she whole new league, the Super League. The Super League, USL Super League is expansion league this year. There's 8 teams, and Tampa Bay got one of the teams. And Jordan's college coach is the head coach. And they kind of really wanted her and one other teammate from Orlando to kind of spearhead the project and be kind of the faces of the team. And it's crazy. I mean, she's on billboards all over the place in Tampa. So it's been great. I mean, she practices 5 minutes away from our house. Me and all my buddies go to all the home games that we're here for, which is a great time. They do a really cool thing where they do a water taxi from Armature Works, and then you go to the game, and we might have too much fun at times. But it's just great.
What do you mean? Like when you're saying are we smashing beers? What's going on? I mean, be honest.
We're on the surf sides these days. Surf sides or beers at Armature Works. Because we don't have to drive anywhere, which is great. And then it's fun because like when she was in Orlando, I would go to the games and drive home to Tampa. Now it's like, well, if we win, we're probably going to go out a little bit. So the girls will meet us at Armature Works after the game, have a couple drinks, celebrate a little bit. And it just feels more like we're inclusive in this team. I know all of the girls on first name basis and been hanging out with the girls. So it just feels way more of a team, and like we're more a part of it, which is awesome.
Okay, well, we got to get you some party for the next time. Yeah. So that'll take the party to a whole other level.
Perfect.
Does Jordan play golf? What's your golf situation like with her?
She wants to be good at golf, but she doesn't want to practice. She doesn't want to hit range balls. If there's anybody on the range, she's out. So, I mean, I've told her, I was like, we can get you clubs with ping, but you have to prove to me that you're going to actually play. I mean, I think we've been together for like 7 years. I think she's probably been at the range 20 times. So she's frustrated why she's not good yet. But I'm telling her, like, it takes a while. Like, we'll finally get on the range. We'll work some things out. She's hard to hit it good. I'm like, well, you need to come back either tomorrow or the next day and do it all over again. But she doesn't want to do that, which I get. Her days are tough. She has a lot of practice, and last thing she wants to do is still be outside hitting range balls.
So how's the old man doing?
He's good. My parents are actually in Napa. It's my younger sister Abigail's 21st birthday on the 8th. So they took her and a couple friends to wine country, and they're probably on a wine tasting right now. They're having a great time.
Nice. Hey, we're winding things down here with Cristian DiMarco, professional golfer, former Florida State. Well, I guess you're always a Florida State amateur champion, and last year's Florida State Open champion. One of just a couple who have done that in the past. What's on tap for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I mean, the start of the year, there's not much. I mean, there's a couple of West Floridas. There's 2 Corn Ferry Mondays that I'll do at the end of the month. But I mean, my main focus is going to be the Canadian Tour this summer. I think if you go out there and you really put your whole heart into it, it's not where you really want to play. I mean, in terms of money, it's not really, you can't really make a living out there, even if you play well. It's more of a points tour. But I think if you play well up there, you can kind of skip some stages of Corn Ferry Q School. And I mean, if you get really hot and win 3 times out there, you automatically go to Corn Ferry. So I think at this stage, it's kind of that juggling aspect of like, do you want to chase state opens and maybe a couple Mondays and try to make some money where you can drive to events, or kind of take it on the chin, know that you're probably going to lose money in Canada, but maybe play for some points and see if you can skip a couple stages of Q School. And who knows, you get hot and you can go straight to Corn Ferry.
Have you played down here at Lakewood National Golf Club where I live? We got the Suncoast Classic. Would you try a Monday qualifier, or you just got to wait and see?
I'm definitely going to do that Monday. Yeah, because I think Canada doesn't start until June. So, I mean, I'm going to play anything and everything until then. But yeah, I'll definitely do the Monday for that Corn Ferry event where you are. And yeah, I mean, I'll do the Valspar Monday. And I mean, like I said, it's being prepared and giving yourself opportunities, and all it takes is one. Like, if you capitalize on one opportunity, you could be top red. Like, where'd he come from? Well, he's been grinding, just hadn't capitalized on opportunity yet. And it's funny. I mean, I was talking to some members at my course today. They asked about the Monday a couple days ago and what'd you shoot or whatever. And it's like, shot 3 under, missed by 2. And they're like, yeah, like, but 3 under, 4 under is a good score. It's like 3 or 4 days in a row. I'm like, yeah, but you need to shoot 7. Like once you get out there, you can shoot 3 under every day and make cuts and probably finish top 20, but it's hard to get out there. You have to shoot that 7 on a Monday, and then you can do that stuff. And I was telling them, I'm like, I don't know how many people were in the field, but I quote unquote finished 8th. So that's great out of 100 people, but they only take 2. So you need to shoot 6 or 7.
Yeah, you got to catch lightning in a bottle. If you had one piece of advice, like one thing that always works when you're trying to help people with their golf, or maybe some sound advice that you got that is just carried you through the years, what would it be, Christian?
I think rhythm and timing, to be honest. I mean, there's a bunch of different things with amateurs that I see. I mean, obviously alignment, the fundamentals, not a lot of people get those right. I mean, just whether it's putting a club down on the range just for your feet, just to make sure you're aimed correctly. I think that's a big one. But I think your swing is going to be your swing. If you can figure out how to generate all the speed and all the power to the golf ball, I think that kind of gives you a better understanding of when to release the club, when to make contact, opposed to trying to feel different things. Because the only thing the golf ball knows is impact. So what I try to do for amateurs is simplify it and say, okay, we want the ball to meet the club at this point. You return it there and just kind of feel like you're gaining the whole time, and then you're unleashing the speed at the ball. I think that kind of narrows amateurs' focus down a little bit. It can help them.
Christian, I appreciate the time. I wish you all the best, be it on the West Florida Golf Tour, which has been good to us, and you've had good success there, or Canada, Corn Ferry. But I think I know where your heart is. It's the PGA Tour, and just keep believing. I mean, I hear it in your voice. It just sounds like you got a bit more conviction, and you're going to get to where you want to be, man. And don't forget us. All right, you come on back, and
I'll always be a repeat offender on the pod.
Sounds good. Hey, Christian, all the best to you and to your wife, and good luck to her soccer team. And next time you go, stuff a couple part tees in your pocket. All right. Sound good? All right. Hey, big thanks to our title sponsors, Party Drinks, and also the Golf Real Estate Pros of Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. For Cristian DiMarco, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Party Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the Golf Real Estate Pros Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com or call 941-220-4000.